Me. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 49 of Black Ops 3 Mod Tools. Now, in this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to add ExtraCam, aka security cameras, to your map. If you check it out and you see the screen, you can see that I have a camera watching me. Where's that peeping Tom? There it is. I see you, buddy. And just from that camera looking at us, or at least that script origin, it's actually a lens that's broadcasting the image onto those screens, aka those brushes. And if you take a look over here, you can also add models of security cameras that are going to do the exact same thing. So now that you guys got a quick look of how this works, let's head on over to the desktop and I'm going to show you guys how to implement this into your map. Let's do this. That's sad music. Alright, don't want to wait anymore. Let's close you out. There we go. Okay, now that we're back over at the desktop, first things first, open up Launcher. And what you want to do is you want to go into Ape Asset Editor. Click on that. Let's give that a quick second so it can open up. Now what we're going to do in Ape is we're going to make the material type that's going to display what's going through the script origin. Now there are monitors that are X models that'll display what the origin is looking through, or at least looking at. But in our case, we're also going to make a material file. That way we can drag out a brush and resize it to whatever size we would like it to be. So let's give that a sec. There we go. Now, first things first, you want to make a new GDT. So either you could go over here up to this icon where it says new GDT, or else you could click on File and New GDT. Either way works. So click on that. And what you want to do is you want to name the GDT to whatever you would like it to be. So in our case, we're going to call it Uptown's Cam. And make sure that it gets saved under source data. And it's going to be this folder that's going to be inside of the root folder of your Black Ops 3. So Black Ops 3 source data. This is where it keeps all of your GDTs, well, the majority of them. So click save. There we go. Now, as soon as you click on that, it's going to make the new GDT for you and it's going to highlight it. So what you want to do is you want to right click it and go over to new material. There we go. Now we're going to name this. Now you can name this whatever you would like it to be, but at least reference it to the camera. So in our case, we're going to call it Cam 1 Uptown. You can name it whatever you like. Click OK. Now, as soon as you click OK, it's going to show you the material properties over here. It's going to say material. It's going to say material category. Under geometry, you want to click on that drop-down menu. And you want to go over to specialty. Click on that. Now, material type. Click on the drop-down menu. Scroll up. And go over to ExtraCam. Now, there's also two other features you can click on, which says ExtraCam, multiple overlay, and ExtraCam transparent. But in this tutorial, we're going to be using ExtraCam. Click on that. And as you can see, the material turned into some wording that says ExtraCam 1. Now, under surface type, you have to make sure you change this. It can't stay on error. So click that drop-down menu, and we could put it under glass or none, whatever you like. Just make sure it's not under error. Gloss range, put it to whatever you like it to be. And I'm gonna pick ice. Doesn't matter. Actually, not ice. Metal. Now usage. Now this is where it's gonna show up under radiant. So let's tools clip door. You can pick any one of these. As soon as you go over to your textures tab and search this kind of texture, it's going to show up. In our case, we're going to put it under background because there's not too many textures or materials in there. So background's the winner. Scroll down. Now you're going to see this part where it says camera index. Now you have 4 options you can choose. So in our case, this is the first one we're making, so I'm going to leave it at 1. And we're pretty much done for the 8 part. So hit the save button, close it out. Now what we're going to do is in the video description, I'm going to have a link to a download, and it's going to give you this folder right over here. Now it's going to have a folder with a PDF that's going to have the information on how to do this. But since you're watching the tutorial, I'll just break it down for you in the simplest way possible. Now, there's going to be another text document in here. And if you open that up, it's going to have 2 steps. And this is the information that we're going to have to add to our Gsc file. So there's step 1, add this inside of function main, meaning we're going to add this part in function main. And then number 2, we're going to add this at the end of the Gsc file. So it's that simple. All right, so go over to launcher, select the map that you're going to be adding this to. In my case, is ZM Watchers. Select, highlight it, right-click it, go over to Open Map Folder. All right, now that it's open, next thing you want to do is you want to go over to Scripts, ZM, and you want to go into your Gsc file, not the Gsc, Gsc. So if you don't have Sublime, right-click and go to Open With. Just give it a second. That way you can open it up in Notepad. And I have Sublime, so you can pick Sublime. Click on More, and you'll see it right over here, Notepad. Double click on that, and it opened up your Gsc file. All right, so scroll down to the bottom, and you're gonna see this information. This wasn't supposed to be here, but that's cool. Now it'll look like this. So let's do the first step. What we're gonna do is put this side by side so you can see both. There we go. Now add this inside function main. So copy this part, right click it, go to copy, and over here is function main. Now you want to put this under the ZM user map. So make some space, hit the tab button, move it over, and paste it in right here. And move it over if it looks like that. That way you keep it nice and neat. All right, so that part is done. Now let's go over to step 2. Now grab this whole function, copy it, and put it right at the bottom of your Gsc file. So click it right there, hit paste, and we're pretty much done with this part. Now over here, right at the bottom, you're going to see cam 1. Now this is the cam that we set it to in Asset Manager. And remember, we put it as 1, so this is referring to cam 1. And if you move a little bit further down, you're going to see it says cam 1, well, cam underscore 01, target name. Now we're going to make a script origin, and we're going to give it this target name. So either you could leave it by default with that name, or else you could change it to whatever you would like it to be. In my case, I'm going to call it Uptown, just to give you guys a little example. And right under it, now it's referring to cam 1. And right over here, this refers to which cam it is. So leave it on 0, because 0 in Gsc language actually refers to 1. So this is the first one, and 1 is actually 2, 2 is actually 3, 3 is actually 4. So leave it on 0 because it's referring to 1. And right over here, you can change the resolution. So at this moment, I have it at 1920 by 1080. Now, just in case you're getting a lot of frame dips when you're using this, you can bump down the resolution. You could either put it to 1280 by 720, or bump it down even more. But it's, it's 1920 by 1080, runs pretty good on mine, and it looks pretty good on screen. So we're gonna leave it like that. Now this part is done. Just make sure you give it the target name. You're gonna give the script origin, and you're pretty much done with this part. So hit File, hit Save, close it out, close this bad boy right here, and remember, you're gonna have a PDF just in case you don't fully understand. It'll break down everything for you. And credits to RDV for bringing this to our attention. So much props, brother. I really appreciate it. And it's going to help out the community. You do a lot for the community and a lot of other people. And that's the way we got to keep it. So Black Ops 3 can grow and move forward. So much props and thank you. All right, so let's close this out. Next thing we got to do is go over to Radiant and start hooking up the monitor and put in the script origin. So open your map in Radiant, whichever one you can add this to. I already have mine open. Now let's drag out a brush because that's where we're going to put the screen. So zoom out, drag out a brush. Make it whatever size you would like it to be. There we go. That's pretty big, but that's cool. Bump it down a little bit. That's a good size. All right, cool. Now let's give it a basic texture. Hit T on the keyboard, bring up your textures window, and let's go to all in views, and we'll pick whichever one. There we go. So I'm gonna double click on that one. Now the whole brush is that texture. Now what you want to do is you want to hold Control and Shift and left click to select one side of the faces. And now we're going to look for that material that we made. So under your textures tab, make sure all is clicked. And under usage, remember we put it on the background. So click on that. Let me make this a little bigger. And scroll down. Remember we put it on the background. And we called it Cam Uptown, I believe it was. So, oh no, Cam 1 Uptown. That was one of these. Whatever you named it, double click on it. And the material is going to look like this. Now, the reason it's looking like this is because we have to go to Surface Inspector and we have to stretch it out and scale it to the right size. So hit S on the keyboard. It'll bring up the Surface Inspector. With the face selected, hit Set. And as you can see, if you did it right, it'll say ExtraCam 1. And there you have it. There's the screen. All right, now let's add the script origin. So hit B on the keyboard. So it'll bring up your entity browser. And you want to go over to script and go over to origin and drag that onto the map. There you go. Now it's going to look like a purple struct. So bring it up. Let's move it over. If anything, let's go at a top view so we can see which way it's looking towards. As you can see, there's an arrow. So this is going to let you know which way the camera is facing. So hold shift, press D, it'll rotate it. Or else you can hit these buttons over here and it'll rotate it for you. So let's move it over. I'm going to hit R on the keyboard so I can nudge it just a little bit. There we go. That's a good angle. And there we go. All right, cool. All right, now we're going to hit N on the keyboard to bring up the entity info. There it is. Now you want to make sure that it's on client side. Now there's two features to this, server side and client side. We're going to leave it on client side because that's how it works. And you want to go over to target name and we're going to call it whatever you called it in the script. So in my case, I called it Uptown. Press enter and there you go. That's pretty much done. Now whatever's showing through this camera, it's going to show up right on screen. Now we could also use a model in our models. Press M on the keyboard. It'll bring up your models window and you want to make sure that you have all selected and type in cam. And it'll show you these 4 monitors. Now each one has a number on it. So it says XCAM 1, XCAM 2, 3, and 4. Now remember, we set it to XCAM 1. So that's the one we're going to be using. So it's going to be this one. Drag it out. Hold shift, press D so I can rotate it. Move that bad boy over. Now the models, you can resize them. So hit N on the keyboard, bring up the entity info again, and go over to model scale. And you can just change this number from 1 to whatever number you want it to be. The higher the number, the bigger the scale is going to get. So let's put it on 4. And as you can see, the model got bigger. Now we don't want it that big, so I'm gonna type in 2. Just a little bigger than what it was. And hit escape. And there you have it. We're pretty much done. Now remember, the way I had it in the preview video, I had basically a security camera right there. So what you can do is you could just look for a security camera in your models and just put it in the game and put it right in front of it. Now let's see, where'd that model go? Here it is. That way you can see where it's at. And let's rotate it. Escape. Put it right in front of it. Move it down. That way you'll see which way the camera's looking. Hit escape. Let me hide this real quick so I can see it. Yep, that's good. And there we have it. All right, cool. All right, so let's save this. That's pretty loud, sorry. And we can close this out. Now let's compile the map and it should be done. All right, let's give it a quick second. And that's pretty much it. You're gonna be in some security cam goodness, guys. Brought to you by RDB and tutorial by Uptown. Just to make sure nobody messes this up, because I kind of saw someone on Mob Me saying they were having a little bit of trouble. So Uptown to the rescue, guys. I got you. But this is working out pretty good. I can see this being put into a lot of people's maps, and it's pretty cool. So you guys will be able to do some wacky shit with it. And it's later on this week. I should have a video for custom video display, so you can have your own movies or clips. Now, remember, when I say your own movies or clips, I'm talking about your own. Like, once I release that, don't start pirating videos and uploading them to the workshop, because Treyarch is gonna shut us down and they're gonna ban you for uploading something that's pirated. So whether it's a TV show or a movie, try to cut it down to a clip that you made, or something really small. That way it won't be, you know, um, thrown the stick at, or the club, or whatever the judge does. All right, let's give it a quick sec. Now it's converting everything. And I should have a video for, oh, I forgot a curly bracket. Let's go back to that. Let's see. Scripts, ZM, double click on this. Yep, missing a curly bracket. Oh, that's not one. There we go. Hit file, hit save. Close that out. This one's done. And let's build this again. Just trying to cut down the time. You got me. All right. There we go. Now those errors are just something else I have inside the map. But the cam is working out pretty good. Let's see. All right, it's done. All right, so hit run, hit build, and let's check this out in action. Come on, launcher. I got mapping to do, and The Walking Dead is on. There we go. That's pretty loud. Let me lower that. There we go. Here we are. All right, cool. All right, let me get the trusty control ready. If you guys have any suggestions on any tutorials you want to see, just let me know. I've noticed that somebody in the comments mentioned something about a spiral staircase. So that's next, along with the other videos I promised. All right, let's give it a quick sec. There we go. Mic's working. Testes. Testes. It's working. All right. Come on. There we go. I felt the rumble. It's on, baby. All right, cool. And as you can see, it's working. Where's that camera? There you are. And as you can see, that's the brush we just made in Ape. And this is the security camera. Look how cool. Whoa, thank you, Cam. See the zombies in the screen? This is amazing. Oh, oh, oh. Teabag. Smile, zombie. Alright, there you have it, guys. ExtraCam, aka security cams, in-game. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.